Hi, Mary. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ooh, I cannot hear you, so let me change that.
How about now?
Let's see. Let's see.
Can you hear me now? I don't think it's my computer.
Do you mind saying something?
Yeah, I'm talking right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. I
Oh,
figured it out.
beautiful.
Yep.
Okay. There's some people in the lobby. I'm going to admit them, and I'll handle the chat through the whole meeting, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. If there's questions in there, I might read them out to you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here we go.
He was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully,
Hi, good morning, guys. We're just admitting some people in before the meeting.
Hello.
Hey, good to see you again.
You too.
And if anyone can let me know, I know that there's some lawn work getting done at the memorial over here. So apologies if you can hear that.
I can't hear anything.
Okay, good.
Hi.
Hi, Erin. Thank you for joining
Hello.
us.
Hi, Renee. I've never seen you in person.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really see me too much, so this is like the perfect time for everyone to see us.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm. So I know we're just about to get started here, but we usually like to wait a minute or two just for any stragglers that might be coming in late. So we'll start just shortly after 1 o'clock. Hi, thank you for joining us. We'll start shortly. We're just waiting on a few more people to enter, and then we'll get started here. Hmm.
Let's go ahead and get started. I'll share my screen.
Okay,
And,
yeah, sounds good.
if you can just add people as they come in, or Mary can.
Yeah, Mary will be able to add people as more come in.
I'll keep
But
an
go
eye on the
ahead.
attendance.
Okay, thank you. All right, can you see my screen?
Looks good.
All right, perfect. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Um, To start off, thank you everybody for showing up today. I know everybody has a busy schedule, uh, so we'll try to get through this as quickly as possible, but of course, we're gonna go through everything we have to with the application and with the new fiscal year starting. So of course, today we're just gonna be talking about our guide to the emergency assistance program, that all of you have worked with before. If not, if this is your first year, um, of course, ask all the questions you want at the end. We'll try to provide all the answers that we possibly can through this presentation. But please just save all your questions for then. Um, to start off today, my name is Renee Villalobos, and with me today is also Emily Cruz. I'll be doing part of the slides. She'll be doing the other part of the slides. As you can see up here, me and Emily have the sites divided up. Emily takes care of San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Long Beach, Loma Linda, Seattle, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. And I'm in charge of Tampa, Orlando, Miami, Chicago, New York, Denver, and Washington, D.C. Of course, if one of us is out, you can always email the other one or vets@elks.org. It's just our general email box about any application questions, questions about veterans, or anything else that you have. Our information is up here and it'll also be provided at the end, just for any general things that you need. But we do ask if you cannot share this information with veterans until after the application process, if we've approved them. That way it just kind of cuts down from them reaching out to us prior, because we can't approve them until they have gone through you guys and the application first.
So I'll be discussing a little bit of the overview of our program and the eligibility that is needed to apply to this program. So the Emergency Assistance Fund is designed to prevent veteran homelessness, and it helps veterans exit homelessness by providing timely financial assistance. And so it's intended for veterans in significant need. And of course, this is a one-time assistance program. So if a veteran has already been assisted with us, that's the last time that they'll be assisted with this program. The assistance can be up to $2,500, and that can be split amongst 3 separate bills. Those bills can look like anything like your security deposit, your rental arrears. Sometimes instances of forward rent is allowed as well. And then we also cover basic utility payments like your electric and your gas. And so we consider other needs as well on a case-by-case basis. So if you're slightly concerned that there's something within the veteran's case that might not qualify, always reach out to us. We'd rather screen it and see if we can work with that applicant rather than just not being told about them at all, and then they could have been possibly eligible. So always feel free to reach out to us about those case-by-case scenarios. So I do also want to talk a little bit about the roles within this program. We have positions for social workers, which we refer to as the main contacts. These are the people who will be distributing new applications that we create annually. Usually we like to update our applications, and then they'll also help provide updated documentation as well, such as we have emergency frequently asked question document, we have payment plan agreements that we update as well, and verbal signature forms that will be helpful throughout the application process. And you'll receive those documents from the main contact. Main contact is also the person that you'll be sending applications to. So when you're working on a one-on-one basis with your veteran, you fill out the application with them. Once that's reviewed by you as a social worker and everything looks good and ready to go, you'll send it over to your main contact within your facility, and then they'll review it as a final review. Once everything looks good with the main contact, they'll send everything to me directly. We do say that social workers can fill out the application with the veteran. We honestly recommend that because usually a lot of the veterans have confusion about some of the questions that we might have, or they're not sure about where to obtain certain documentation, like if they don't already have their DD 214. Of course, you being the social worker, it would be very helpful for them to, with your assistance on that matter. Veterans must also complete the application in partnership with social workers. Um, like Renee said before, please refrain from sharing the application with veterans for personal use or with other agencies. We just want to make sure we're mitigating that the veteran is working directly with a social worker already. We can't work directly with veterans, unfortunately. So if we have a veteran asking us questions, we're going to have to defer back to the main contact and get them aligned with whoever their social worker is, or get them a social worker if they already aren't working with one. If you have any questions about an application or need documentation, we will follow up with the social worker and the main point of contact. Of course, if we're missing anything, we'll always follow up with you. And even if it is an approval, we'll still follow up with you to let you know that your veteran was approved as well. So we try to keep good communication with the main contact on those cases. And some cities, depending on the workload that you guys are working with, we understand that some cities have higher capacity than others. For those locations, we do suggest that you guys have more than one main point of contact. If it does feel a little bit too overwhelming in a scenario for one main point of contact and you feel like it'd be a lot easier to have a secondary main point of contact, you guys are more than welcome to do that. Just, of course, let us know about that breakdown of who's going to be the secondary main point of contact, or who is going to be the main point of contact for your area. And then we'll work with you on that as well. Referring social workers, contact information is going to be one of the first application sections that you'll see. It's just basic information about the social worker working with the veteran who worked on the application. So just in case we do have to reach out for any information, like sometimes the creditor information is incorrect, we'll just go back to the social worker with whatever email or phone number that they provided. Excuse me. Second, on the application, you'll see right underneath the first for the referral social worker contact information will be the veteran's identity information. So it'll be your basic information, like their current address, their contact information, phone, email, what branch of the military they served, along with their birthday, entry date of service, and exit date of service. So this is all information relatively on the DD-214 that you can find. And again, you could always ask your veteran for the current address that they have if they are residing somewhere. Next, you'll see the creditor information. I say just be extra careful on this section. We, of course, get this information to send the checks out to the creditors. And so if this section is incorrect, unfortunately, it will cause a big delay. So we highly, highly advise that with all the sections, of course, be careful in maintaining the correct information, but the creditor information is the most important. This is where we collect information as far as who's owed payment, what the check should be, who the check should be made out to, or if it's an LLC, what LLC it should be made out to, and then what the address is, and then the memo line. So basically referring to which veteran this assistance is helping with, and then if they have a account number with a utility bill or an apartment number, we list that as well in this section. The fourth section will be the veteran circumstance. For our data purposes and for our information, we do ask that you provide an explanation of the veteran circumstances, the reason for assistance, and the plan for the future. We look for a clear explanation for how this assistance will support housing stability, especially for atypical requests. We also look for a plan for how the veteran will remain housed after Elks assistance. So basically, we do offer up to $2,500, but what's the plan of action for the veteran in the future after they receive this assistance? And we do want to make sure that there is a good plan of action for them, that they do have an outcome that they can follow up with in the future after our assistance has already been provided, especially since we are only a one-time assistance program. And then the final This one also, I'd like to preface that it is important because I do notice that this one is missed most often than not. It's the signatures from both the veteran and the social worker. We do require, of course, a veteran signature so that they give their consent to provide this information. And then we require the social worker's signature as well as a confirmation that they've confirmed that the information is correct and that they reviewed and processed the information themselves. So we will push the application back if a signature is missed. So please make sure that it is signed. And documentation requirements. So this is basically everything outside of the application itself that's going to be required. Unfortunately, we are one of the programs that we don't really require too much documentation outside of the application itself. So one of those documents will be, of course, that I mentioned before is the DD-214. This is really important as far as providing the veteran's name, date of birth, and year of service. But we do also accept equivalent documentation if for some reason your veteran does not have their DD-214. So that can either be information from the HINC database, VISTA, BRLS, whichever you feel is most equivalent. Always feel free to ask us. And if we do need something more additional as far as documentation, we'll have a back and forth conversation and kind of work with you all as far as what you can acquire and what you can't. A social security number is not required for our program, so please don't feel like you have to put the veteran social security card in the application. It's not necessary, especially since we're getting the DD-214. There's more than enough information on that document for us to sufficiently use the application. And then finally, copies of bills you'll want to use to pay. So of course, if it is for rental areas, anything like a signed lease or a rental ledger will work perfectly fine. And that's the same with forward rent as well. We'll need something like that. For the utility bills, just a copy of the bill is perfectly fine as well. So your typical power bill or gas bill, just feel free to send a copy of that. And then name change documentations, marriage certificates when necessary. So if a veteran has been married or divorced, or if they just happen to wanting to change their name, we'll need something to confirm that change of name, especially if it's different than what's on the DD-214. So just keep that in mind. And if you do have questions as what we can accept and what we can't in those instances, always feel free to reach out to us about that.
All right, thank you, Emily. Going forward,
Yep.
I'll talk about the payments and timelines and pretty much finish up this presentation. As far as payments and timelines, we respond to applications as soon as we can. We are a small team of 4 people, but mainly me and Emily working on it, so please take that into consideration. We know housing needs are time sensitive with evictions and power being turned off and just different things like that. So we'll try our best to get back to you as quickly as we can. A complete application must be received by end of day Monday for the checks to be mailed out that same week. We ask Monday because Tuesdays we do our check request to our county department, and then we usually have them cut for us by Thursday. So we either send them out Thursday or Friday, depending on the rest of our workload. By default, checks are mailed via standard United States Postal Service, which means can either be quick or it can be slow. Typically delivered in 7 to 10 business days. If a check is very time sensitive, please inform us and we can discuss expediting mailing options. Like I said, if it's for a security deposit that they need right away, or an eviction, or just anything else that's pertinent, just send us an email or let us know with the application that you send in, and we'll work with you to see how quickly we can get it out, or to see if we can send it out overnight or anything else like that. We do have issues if it is a PO box to send it out overnight, so we'll see if we can send it out 2 or 3 day, something else. We'll find a way to make it work. We can also provide promissory letters for creditors. We know that a lot of them do ask for it, but just a friendly reminder that we can't send a promissory letter until we have looked at the application and know if we're going to be able to approve it or not. We don't want to get false hope to the creditor or to the veteran by sending out these letters if they're not going to be approved. And we know this often eliminates the need for expediting mail. When a check request is sent, the social worker, main contact, and veteran receive confirmation emails. Please read email to verify the check mailing address. Mainly just on that one, just make sure that the amount is correct, address is correct, the creditor name is correct. Because we're human beings, me and Emily can make mistakes just because we're processing so many. So if you can just look over that and let us know if anything is wrong. That way we can catch it before they are sent out. We can reissue checks as needed. Out of caution, we typically wait to do this until 3 weeks after mailing, so basically 21 days. We choose to do that because sometimes, like we said, we're sending it out normal, regular mail. So it might just be taking its sweet time to get there. We don't want to cancel a check because we've done this in the past, and then the creditor ends up getting the check that we canceled. They try to deposit and it just becomes a big issue. And by canceling it, sometimes sending out a new one will just delay it. So just check in with us and we'll see what we can do. But if, once again, if it's an eviction or something else like that, please let us know and we'll most likely cancel it and send out a brand new one for you. We check in periodically with main contacts providing funding updates. Main contact is welcome to contact us anytime for an updated ledger. When you check in with us, the POC is the only one that we're going to be sharing the funding updates with. Once they know that, the main contact can let the rest of their team know. So if any other social worker or anyone else reaches out to us about how much funding is left for your site, we won't be able to tell you unless you're the appointed point of contact that we have set or that you have set. Moving on, considerations. If you have any questions or encounter an unusual situation, which I know a lot of us do due to housing, work, just different things, please contact us. You can reach out to your city's main contact or contact me or Emily directly. If you can't reach either of us, you can reach out to our general email and someone will get back to you. If it's not us, it's most likely going to be our director or Hannah if she's covering for us. Besides that, don't be scared to ask us anything that you're not sure if it fits the housing or not. We'll have the answers for you. We would say apply as soon as the problem has been identified. There's no need to wait for an eviction notice. Just send us anything that you have that reflects that they are in need of help, and we'll do our best to help you out and approve the application as soon as possible. That way they're not accruing late fees or anything else like that, or their power doesn't get turned off or anything else like that. If a veteran needs help with just a small bill, we recommend seeking other resources or identifying additional housing related needs. We can help with that at the same time. We say this because, once again, not to harp on it, it is a one-time fund for $2,500. So if it is a small bill for, let's say, $200-300, maybe pay forward a month in advance, or 1 or 2 months ahead. That way they can cover themselves, save some money, or not have to worry about it that much until they get their benefits figured out or they're trying to get a job or anything else like that. We're always willing to help with that. Just anything housing related, we're most likely going to be able to pay. Just let us know the situation, and of course you can always put it on the application. And if we see that it's something that doesn't fit our guidelines, of course we'll let you know. When a veteran owns significantly more than $2,500, we ask for documentation of how the remaining balance is going to be paid, whether by the veteran or another organization. For example, a payment plan agreement signed by the landlord or a commitment to pay from another agency. If nothing is sent with it, of course, we'll follow up with you about it. Just ask a couple more questions, but we will have to see the documentation. We have forms that we can send you for payment plan agreements that you can send to the creditor and have them sign it and send it back to you. If they are working with another organization like Volunteers of America, or just Tunnel of Towers, anything else you can think of. We would have to see that sheet saying that they're paying the other balance. That way we know that sending them the $2,500 is going to cover the rest that the veteran owes. If you have any questions about that, of course, ask us. But we're most likely going to send out a copy of what we have for you guys with the applications for this year. Just some friendly reminders. If a veteran is urgently being evicted, we're going to try our best to quickly review and get out a check as soon as possible. But please just remember, we cannot promise one-day turnarounds on applications. Is it possible that we can? Yes. But also sometimes we can approve it within a day, but getting out the check is probably going to be the issue. So just like always, just let us know the situation and we'll try our best to help you out. A typed or PDF application is preferred as it is easier to read over handwriting and streamlines the process. This isn't needed. We know that some veterans have to fill out the application with you, or they do some of the parts by themselves and you guys review them. But not everyone has the best handwriting, so sometimes it can make it hard to read letters or numbers, and it can lead to a mistake on the creditor information or we're sending the checks. That's why we usually ask to have it typed out. It just makes it so much easier for everyone, and more than likely there'll be less mistakes on it. Applications not completely filled out will be returned, as well as applications sent to us from anyone besides the appointed main contacts. If it's not completely filled out, one of the biggest things we see is either the signatures, or we see that the creditor information isn't completely filled out. But you sent us the creditor documentation, which is great. But sometimes, even though you send us a lease or something else like that, the check might have to go to the property management or to the landlord directly, under a different name. So if you can just please make sure that that's completely filled out before you send it to us. And of course, if our POCs can review that and make sure that all applications are coming from yourself, that just helps us out so much more. We understand, of course, if the POC is out sick or for anything else, please appoint someone else and please email us to know who it is. That way we're not turning back applications. We cannot provide a letter of payment or future payment until we have all documentation and agreements on plans for creditor. I talked about this earlier, so just a friendly reminder of that. Also talked about this earlier too. We cannot discuss remaining funding with anyone except for the POC for a site. This is just for us and the POC to know. That way they can keep track of all the applications, how much funding they have left. And then of course they can disseminate it to the team and let them know. We cannot promise a veteran seeking assistance anything until they have filled out an application and gone through your site's procedures. So please do not have them call us first. Once again, we can't approve them or tell them yes or anything else. All we can really do is lead them to the closest VA to them, if it's in their state, and then of course reaching out to a social worker that we've worked with before or the main contact for that site. And then once we of course we let them know that they have to go through your process first, and of course to see if you still have funds or not to help them out. And then just the last friendly reminder for me, for my sites, I will be receiving applications until April 3rd. After that, all applications must be sent to vets@elks.org to be processed, as I will be out for surgery for a couple of months. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. Emily and the rest of my team will be covering for me while I'm out. So the process will still go the same. Finally, again, our contact information again, if you don't have it, please take it down. My POCs, me and Emily will be directly emailing you guys to let you know amounts as soon as we learn them, of how much you're getting this year. We'll be sending out applications payment plan agreements, FAQs, or anything else that you could possibly need. And then finally, we'll just open it up to any questions. If anybody has anything they want to ask, this would be the time to do it. And we'll be here for a good little while till everybody feels like they're good.
Hi, I have a quick question for Emily.
Yeah,
It's
go for it.
Maria Perez here at the Loma Linda VA.
Hey,
I just had
Maria.
a question. So, I have a veteran another case manager who referred a veteran for the Elks assistance, and the veteran's name changed from her DD 214 to now. She can't find any marriage certificates, marriage paperwork, divorce paperwork, nothing. So, we're trying to figure out what other type of documentation would work.
I think at that point, does she have like a driver's license or a state ID?
She has her driver's license with her current name,
Okay.
but not with her DD 214 name.
Okay. So Mary, step in if you need to add anything else with this, but I think that should be fine because then what I usually do is I'll accept the state ID at that point, and then
Okay.
since it shares the birth date on there as well, it should be fine.
Mhm.
Mary, do you think there should be any additional paperwork that she can provide in that instance?
I think just a note from you indicating that, you're sure it's the same person and the name
Yes.
change. That would suffice. We'll attach that to
Yeah,
the
because
application.
we have her registered with her DD 214 at the VA. So, and then now her name's different. But yeah, okay, we can do that. I'll let the case manager know and we'll get that taken care of. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And with cases like that, we'll work with you all, depending on what the veteran does have and what they don't have. Ultimately, though, if you do have that marriage license or divorce license or name change paperwork, that would be ultimately preferred. But again, if they don't have that paperwork, we'll work with you. Any other questions? Well, if nobody else has any other questions, I do want to say that for the main contacts, I'll be sending an email out later today with the updated documentation that I mentioned earlier with the application, the payment plan agreement, the verbal signature form, all of that good stuff. You'll get an email later today. And that email should also have, I believe, the updated budget for the fiscal year that you'll have. And I believe that should be everything. So you guys should have all the documentation that you'll need for this coming fiscal year, and you'll have the updated amount that you'll be receiving for your city for the fiscal year. And of course, if you do guys end up having any questions that you're thinking of after this webinar and you want to reach out to us, you're more than welcome to do that. And then we'll also should be having a recording in that email as well for you all, or at least a link to the recording. And then we'll have presentation slides in that email as well. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you.
You too.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we hope you have a good rest of your day, okay?
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Okay, I am gonna wrap this up here unless anyone in here still has any questions. I think we're all good.
Just
Okay.
make sure to download the recording after this.
Will do. Bye, guys.